Hey there, welcome to Learn Tech Studios. I got contacted by one of my viewers that had an idea that they wanted to incorporate a double pole, double throw switch into their circuit. And they wanted me to demonstrate how to wire it or, just show them how it's wired to reverse the voltage. So this device is handy for doing just that. Today I'm going to demonstrate the two types that you can have. You got the momentary one and you got the manual one that works. But I'm going to demonstrate and show you how that works and what essentially are the differences. And we'll just hook it up into an actual circuit or something and test drive it. Today on Learn Tech Studio. Hello, hi. Today we have two switches we're going to wire up. These switches we're going to talk about are double pole, double throw switches. There was a visitor to my channel and they sent the request in to me wanting me to demonstrate how these are hooked up and how they can apply them to different things they're working on. Mainly you need to know that there are two types of double pole, double throw. Firstly, one is a momentary one where when you activate one side, it jumps automatically back to the off, and the same thing on the other side. One is a continuous on, so you hit that switch, and whatever you turned on is going to keep on going till you turn it back off to the middle section. Then you hit it again, it'll go back in the other direction, and it'll continue until you hit that back to the thing. If you don't have an automatic stopping mechanism or require an automatic stopping mechanism on the device this is hooked to, it'll just continue trying to supply voltage to a motor that may have seized up. So I'll demonstrate and show you what I mean. Okay, I want to show you how the energy travels in these pins, and what we're going to do a little continuity test. I'm going to be trying to show you where if you got the switch pushed this way, which pins are activated, and if you got the switch pushed this way, which pins are activated. We're going to do that with a simple test. We're just going to use a little continuity test. This is a little multimeter. I'm just going to switch it to continuity, and it's going to indicate whenever the wires are crossed, which mean a connection, like if I do this, so it's going to have that reaction on the meter. Okay, so right now we have the switch, this face down, face up, activated on this side. So we're just going to put that back in there. Now I'm going to find out which pins are closing the contacts. So if I touch here and here, those pins seem to be closing the contact. If I touch here and here, there's nothing. If I touch here and here, those switches are closing the contact. If I touch here and here, nothing. Remember I mentioned this package is like two switches in one. So even if I come across each other, nothing's going to happen because these are two independent switch pins. But because they're packaged together, it allows you to create a reverse voltage by toggling between the two poles. So I'm going to switch the switch to the other side, and we're going to stick it right back into where it was at. Now we're going to see which pins are alive. Nothing's there, but now the outer pins are alive. And same thing here, nothing's there, and now the outer pins are alive. So that just is going to just say that whichever way you have this toggle pushed, if you have it pushed in the center, nothing's going to happen. There's no connection between this pin, or this pin, or this pin. Nothing's going to happen because it's a normally off state. It's off, so nothing is activated. The power it's just going to be sitting on these pins here. It's not going to go out to the poles. Nothing like that's going to happen. So that's mainly how these circuits are going to work. Now we want to wire it now with the what I call the X factor, and we're going to give it the ability to reverse the voltage, the DC voltage mainly, by just pushing one of the two ways we want it to go. All right, now we're going to wire up the switches. We got some colors here. I got a red and white wire that's going to go to the outer pin here. I got the yellow wire that's going to help me make the X factor that I was mentioning about. So right now, we're going to go ahead and make the X configuration first using, I'm going to use some handy hands here to help me hold it because it's going to be hot. So, all right, here we go. Now, put that there so I can get to it. So yeah, I'm going to take one of my yellow leads here, and I'm going to solder it to the terminal here. I'm just going to let's see, is it hot enough though? I think it is. Let's see. We just hold it there for a moment, let that freeze on there. Okay, that's one. And what I'm going to do, I am going to crisscross this over to this side. Let me just get this thing to right. There we go. And okay, now we're going to make the other wire. Let me do something for a second. There we go. Okay, I'm going to connect the other wire as well to this side, I guess. No, actually, let me just bring it down here. This is going to keep in the range so y'all can see. Yeah, I'm going to connect that piece here, so that'll make the first leg of the X. So we'll do that now. I pre-soldered some of these so to make it easier to solder. I pre-tinned them. There we go. Nope, that ain't got it. Okay. Let's see what I gotta do. Bond that to it if I can. Nope, that's not it. Okay. I'm using relatively thick wire here. You don't have to use wire this thick, but I'm using what I had on hand here. So I'm just going to just try to bring this into play. There we go. I know that's good. Let it cool a little bit. Yep, there we go. Okay, that's one of the legs there. Now I'm going to unstrap this, and I'm gonna try to fix this out the way so it doesn't get in the way of anything. I believe. Let me see. Maybe. Let's see if I can connect that there for a moment. Let's try to solder this other piece of the X, the other leg of the X here. Try to get that in there to stay. The thing about the solder, you gotta try to hold it while it cools. So, but when it cools, it'll hold on to the wire. So now I'm gonna move around to the last leg of this, and see what you can see. I'm actually bringing the wire from this leg here all the way over to here. So we're just going to solder that in place right now. Solder it. So hold on to this. Apply it with pressure. Okay, that's on there. I wear these gloves because the sharp wires sometimes tend to stick my finger, and it's not real comfortable. Okay, so there we have it, everybody. We have the X going here with the wires. So we have this one wire going from this pin to that pin, just like we had in the design here, and one wire going from this pin over to this pin. So now that's hooked up. Now we're going to hook up some power wire, power leads, or we could use this for the output leads. We'll just use it for output leads. I'm going to connect even further. I'm going to bring some wire to here. It don't matter which one of these pins I hook this to. I'm just going to hook up wire so it'll be able to hook up whatever motor we're going to hook on here. So let me just put this back in the vise and hold it. See if I can get that to work. It's going to be kind of tricky because I have a wire just sitting there right now, and it's being held by solder. The minute I hit this, solder is going to loosen it again. So I'm not going to think that's what I'll do that one, but I believe I can do it. I can do it quick enough. That one don't release. Okay, I'm just bonding this wire to one of the pins here. Trying to see how strength it has. Alright, now I'm going to put another wire here on this pin here, and that's going to give me some way of connecting a motor or something to this switch. So all I'm going to do is just heat it. This may move the other wire, but I can just put it back. It does. Right now this thing doesn't want to stay still, so it'll hold. I gotta wait for it to harden up before I move it. There. Okay, now that's in there. So what we have so far, we have the wires in the X design we were talking about. From one pin, cross over, get to the other switch, which is, like I said, there's two switches in a package. Grab that pin, and then we have a wire going from here over to this pin. So that's the X we needed. Now these can go to any, let's see how they come and lose that. I didn't solder that really well. So I gotta hit it up with solder again, but this time I'm going to try to hold it a little bit better than I did before, because that's not good. Let me see if I can get that bond. Should hold once I do that. I may have to add more solder. I don't think I got enough on it. I thought when I tended it would be enough solder, but it may not be enough. It's holding now though. Okay. So we're going to use these as our output pins from this switch. So when you push it, it's going to send either positive energy here or negative energy here. It depends on which way the switch is pushed. It's going to be like that. So now we're going to hook up some power wire, and the power wire is going to feed this, what we're going to call a circuit. It's going to feed it. It's a crisscross type of circuit, and this was what we're going to hook some power wire up to it. So let me come back to you on that. All right, I'm back. I have a battery holder here we're going to use. And this is the switch. This is the switch all completed, all wired. We got the voltages going to go in here. We have the outputs going to come out of here, out of the two end pins. This is just a standard 12-volt motor. We're going to be using this to test the circuitry. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is just simply connect the motor up to the switch. And we can do that first. I'm just going to twist it on there some kind of way. It don't matter which wire I'm using on this end because it's going to be reversible. So unless this was in a device and I needed to know which way it needed to go first, then that's when I'd be concerned. But as just for this demonstration, I'm just going to show you how the motor reverses. That stuck me that time. Okay. All right. There. Now, so I got the switch in. Now I got these two ends here going to a little power supply. There's going to be batteries in there in a moment. As soon as I get through twist tying these on here as well. Alright, I just want to make sure I don't short anything, so I'm going to use just a little protection. I'll put a little piece of heat shrink on top. I'm not going to heat them, I'm just going to put it on there so it won't be so easy to touch each other. You don't want no spark from something with this much voltage going in it and this many amps right now. So, alright, I got that kind of secure, I hope. And I'm gonna put some stuff over the end of that. That helps protect this thing. Okay, so all these in there. Yeah, so right now I have the motor connected to this switch, and this switch, like I said, is a momentary double throw switch, meaning that when I press it one way, the motor is going to spin. When I let it go, it's going to stop spinning. Then when I press it the other way, the motor is going to spin the opposite direction, and when I let go, it's going to stop. So we're going to demonstrate that right now. First, I got to put some cells into this battery pack, and these are 18650. They are 3.7 volts a piece. I'm going to put them into the little holder I got here. I don't know how. Should be okay. Okay, those are in the holder. Let me just test the voltage on this battery thing here for a minute. Make sure we got our voltages we want. Let's take a look. There we go. We got some decent voltage. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead now, and I'm going to now with the batteries. We got the batteries hooked up. Remember this switch, momentary switch, has the ability to reverse the voltage at these two wires. So when I push it one direction, I'm going to push the top going that way first. You notice the motor is spinning this way. And you notice I'm pushing the button one direction. I let it go, the motor stopped. It's not going the other way or anything. Now I'm going to hit this side of the button, and you notice it's going this way now. And then when I let go, it stops. So this is mainly how your windows in your car function. When you push the button up, the window will either go up or down. And when you push the button down, the windows will either go down or up, depending on which way this motor is in there. And that, my friends, is pretty much how this works. Now I want to show you a little how, I know this looks kind of messy, but I'm going to show you how I compacted this switch network into a little packaging in just a second. Okay, I have a little project box that I had laying around. It was just some headphones came in, and that momentary switch we were talking about, I installed it into this box. And also inside the box is that battery pack you saw that we were playing with. There's a battery pack inside here as well. So to make it all nice and neat, see how much neater it is? So I'm going to show you. I'm going to hook these the same two ends. They're not powered right now, but I'm going to hook them to the motor like so. Show you how we do that. So hook one to the motor. Don't matter which one is which. Like I said, unless it's in a particular device and you need to know which direction it's going to go first. All right, I'm just going to hook both of these up. I'm just going to show you how compact you can have this. Okay, right now, it's just the wires coming out of the side of the box, just ordinary box. Now I have a handheld. Now I have a handheld ability to control this motor. So I can push it down and the button down, and I let go, it'll stop. And you see this way, the motor is spinning this way, right? Now when I push it this way, the motor spins the other way. And this can actually function as a remote. You can have this whether it's for a motorized device on your bed or a chair, lift your legs up or down, whatever it is. The push of a button, you can operate stuff. So, and also this thing will also operate what we call a linear actuator. I'm going to show you what that is. We're just going to disconnect this window motor for a moment and bring something else on the scene. And this is kind of a heavy duty job here. This is called a linear actuator. This thing has a motor in the back right here. This is the motor drive for this. It has cord like so, like this, and I'm going to connect this cord to the control box that we got. And you can make this control box the same way I did. You know, just put everything inside of a nice box and just use heat shrink tape, heat shrink tubing to make sure nothing touches. You know, and you should be fine. I'm gonna put something over the ends of this for a second. I'm not going to shrink this because it's just a temporary setup. Now, this here is a linear actuator. What linear actuators are, they're like hydraulic jacks. They can lift a lot of energy, a lot of weight with electricity. You know, this is a DC one. This is one that works off of DC. Most of them works off of DC. So if you look at that piece there, you'll see what's going to happen. I'm gonna try to move out the way, but I'm gonna hit the button like I did on the other thing. You know, let me do it out of it. You can see I'm gonna hit the button. You see it's like starting to extend it out. Now this piece here can drive anything. It can either open a door or a drawer or whatever. Now when I push the button down, it closes things back up. You notice it's going the opposite direction. And this particular device, I'm not even gonna let go of the button. Watch what happens. See how it cut off? This particular some linear actuators like this one has an automatic shut off. So in case you leave this on too long or holding this button too long, you won't burn up the motor. And this is pretty good. I plan to use this for maybe a door opener to open a door or a trap door or something like that. You know, remotely. You know. So, but anyway, so that concludes this little tutorial. I hope it give you some ideas on what you can apply double pole double throws to. Like I said, these are very affordable. You can get these off of Amazon. They're really cheap, but it's just how you wire it what makes this valuable. So maybe go out and get you one. Have a good day.